So this episode is about a family tale of two brothers. It's a love-hate relationship. Of course, I'm talking about Kane and the Undertaker. So the Undertaker debuts in wrestling, and in a world of a lot of like regular dudes in their underwear, all of a sudden there's this demon. There's this legitimate zombie, this vampire of a man who is now collecting paychecks and going to work every day and wrestling all these men. And he's like the craziest thing ever. He's legitimately a dead person. There's no beating him. He's fantastic. Can zombies get boners? Like, think about it. If the Undertaker is a dead man, he shouldn't have any blood in his system. He does bleed in matches, though. Wrestling's not always accurate. Throughout the Undertaker's career, like in the early 1990s, his manager is this dude Paul Bearer. Get it? Get what he did there? Paul Bearer is this like short, chubby Oswald Cobblepot looking character, and he carries the Undertaker's urn, which like gives him energy and strength. Paul Bearer is like his right hand man. He's his E and Taker's Vinny Chase, bro. At one point, Paul Bearer turns on the Undertaker. Paul Bearer starts managing this guy Mankind, who pulls his own hair out. Is kind of out of shape. He's got a terrible laugh. Undertaker just keeps beating the shit out of him. He's throwing him through everything and anything. We're at a pay-per-view match. Undertaker's beating up Mankind yet again. Paul Bearer tries to get involved and help his guy out. Taker ain't having it. Taker shoots like a fireball at Paul Bearer's face. Yeah, it's pro wrestling. There's fireballs. So Paul Bearer gets this fucking shot to the face, and he's tripping out and he runs off. Taker beats Mankind. Next night on Raw, Paul Bearer strolls out, gross face, disgusting. All burnt, all disfigured, it's awful. And he offers Undertaker a truce. He says, like, look, everything that's happened here, let's just, call it, we're good. Taker's not interested. He holds a grudge, is what he does. So Paul Bearer, in an effort to try and get him to agree to a truce, starts hinting at, like, that he's got some secret about him, that he's gonna reveal his secret, and Paul Bearer is gonna just snitch something awful that Taker doesn't want heard. Taker's not having it, and Paul Bearer starts dropping some hints. He starts talking about, like, oh, the funeral home. Taker's like, okay, that rings a bell. He's like, the fire. Okay, what about the fire at the funeral home? Your brother, Kane. Taker's like, okay, what are you getting at here? Paul Bearer starts talking about, like, when you were a kid, you were playing with matches or something. You burnt down the funeral home and you killed your parents, and your brother was inside and you thought he was dead, but he wasn't. I saved him and I took him and I put him in an insane asylum where he grew up. This is still wrestling, stay with me. And also, he's only your half brother because, like, I fucked your mom. Like, Paul Bearer hit Undertaker with an I fucked your mom, and your brother is actually your half brother because I'm the daddy now. So clearly, Taker's none too pleased with this news. Flash forward, Hell in a Cell, Shawn Michaels is facing Undertaker, championship match. They're going at it when all of a sudden, who shows up? Oh, that's right, it's Kane. He exists. He's massive. He's got a shit face that he covers with a mask because it's burnt and scarred. He's emotionally scarred and he grew up in an insane asylum, so you don't know what he's gonna do. All in all, bad news for Undertaker. He beats the shit out of Taker. Shawn Michaels wins the match, wins the title. Michaels is the real benefactor of this situation. Taker, however, refuses to fight his brother. He claims that he made a vow to his parents at an early age, and he would never fight his brother Kane. Kane really wants to fight his brother, though, so he keeps beating him up, he keeps attacking him. One time, Taker's fighting Shawn Michaels again for the title. So what does Kane do? Kane comes down, he beats up the Undertaker, he costs him the match, he throws him in a casket, locks the casket, covers it in gasoline, and lights it on fire. Again, this is professional wrestling, the imaginary fighting show for kids. So that little stunt was, I guess, enough for Taker to agree to fight his brother. And they finally meet at WrestleMania. Epic showdown, brother versus brother, demon and dead man, whatever you want to call it. In their first match against one another, Taker comes out with the victory. He tombstone pile-drived him like 3 times. What? And then they continued to feud. They eventually put their differences aside and became teammates. And they just, the two of them from that point on, from like 97 on, have just had 2 of the most storied Hall of Fame careers out of any pro wrestlers ever. And now Kane works in the front office, I think, at the WWE. And he wears like a suit. But like, he's still an undead demon. He just files more taxes. What's interesting is the Undertaker left for a while, and then he came back as the American Badass, this like guy that drove a motorcycle and wore jeans. But he still went by the Undertaker. Like, he went Game of Thrones to Sons of Anarchy real quick.